What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Believe it or not, we're already at the halfway point of the year, which is weird because I feel like the year just started. In my opinion, it's been a really good year for sneakers so far. Even some of the best sneakers out there have been fairly easy to get compared to previous years. And not only have there been some really good collab and special release sneakers, I think actually some of the best sneakers this year have been general releases. In this video, I'm going to be getting into what I feel are the top 10 sneakers of the year so far, and don't think of this as a definitive list. It's more of a conversation starter. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite sneakers to drop so far this year. Now, the sneakers on this list are not in any particular order. I just feel like it's way too early to be ranking these right now. We need some more time with them. We got to let them simmer a bit, and then at the end of the year we'll start ranking them. But without further ado, here are the top 10 sneakers to drop so far in 2024. Starting off with, of course, the Jordan 4 Military Blue. I couldn't possibly exclude this sneaker from the list. We knew about this drop for a long time. We were all excited for it. When they did finally drop, however, the leather quality turned out to be not as great as we hoped for. And yeah, I gotta be honest, the leather on this is not good. But for me, they're just such a good looking shoe, and ever since I started collecting sneakers, the Military Blues have always been a grail for me. So to be able to say that I finally own one of these, the fact that I can anytime I want to just throw these on feet, it's really cool to say that. In terms of looks, these did not disappoint. I love the shape of them. They really tried to keep the OG shape with this one, and I actually did kind of appreciate the bluish gray tint that the shoe seemed to have, although I know a lot of people weren't really feeling it. One thing about this sneaker that would move it down the list if I were ranking all the shoes in this video is the fact that I find these extremely uncomfortable to wear. I did drop a video recently talking about my 1 month experience wearing this shoe, and I also gave you guys several different outfits on giving you some ideas on how to style these, so I will leave a link to it up here. Check it out. But these are absolute classics, and definitely for me one of the most memorable sneakers to drop this year. The next pair I'm going to talk about is the Jordan 3 J Balvin, the Rio colorway. Both of the Balvin collabs on the 3s I thought were absolutely exceptional, and in my opinion just a lot better than some of his previous collabs. It still looks very much like a J Balvin shoe, and I love that the color inspiration came from Medellin sunsets. We know Balvin loves to play around with his colors, but these two shoes, both of the last 3s, have been very wearable compared to his previous pairs, and I actually think that these 3s look just as good in black as they did in white. I unfortunately missed out on these, and the resale prices on these are quite high, and I don't think it's a sneaker that I would be paying resale for. But if you did manage to get them, let me know in the comments how you felt about them. Definitely looking forward to seeing more from J Balvin. Hopefully he works on a Jordan 4 next. The next sneaker on the list is actually another Jordan 3, and that is the Jordan 3 Craft. It's crazy that I've started this video talking about 3 consecutive Jordans. That's pretty weird for me. But I did think that this Jordan 3 Craft was super underrated. Like, how is this shoe so slept on? Because in terms of looks, for me, it's one of the nicest looking just Jordans period I've seen over the last year. And as someone who doesn't even like Jordan 3s that much, I actually thought this sneaker was just so well executed. If you missed out on those Ama Manier 3s from a few years ago, I thought this was a very exceptional substitute pair. You have that translucent upper with the milky white finish. These looked absolutely sick in my opinion. The Nike Air logo on the back also looked super clean. These were clean, a very sick everyday pair of Jordans that you could have got for retail or even under retail. For me, this is definitely a shoe that a year or two from now, you're gonna regret sleeping on these. Definitely one of the cleanest Jordans to drop over the last year. Next, you know I love my Adidas models, and of course I love my Adidas and Wales Bonner collabs, and for me the absolute best Wales Bonner pair this year was the SL76 in that yellow and black colorway. The SL76s were for me the best pair from this entire pack, and I thought that as soon as I saw these shoes, but it was confirmed even more by every time I've seen this shoe in public, because these look clean. These really pop on feet. You can never go wrong with this combination of yellow and black. It seems to work every time, and the upgraded premium materials on these as well with the very shaggy suede. I just thought this was a very well executed pair. If you're wondering about sizing on this shoe, make sure you go with your true size. With some other Adidas models, I would suggest going a half size up, but with this one, I went with my true size and they fit perfect. And if you're wondering how to style these, I would say just wear something very neutral as your outfit and just wear these shoes with it, and it just makes your entire outfit pop. The next sneaker we got to talk about, we have to give some love to Nike SB, and for me, the best SB dunk to drop so far this year, at least the best looking one, was the Futura Nike SBs. Legendary New York based artist Futura Vomero finally dropped his collab on the SBs, and even though resale prices on Dunk are way down compared to previous years, the rather high prices on these suggested that people definitely love this pair more than any other SB this year. The colors are super nice, the shoe is kind of like a canvas for some of Futura's most popular works through the years. If you're a fan of the artist, then definitely these shoes are a must cop. I've seen people call this shoe the sneaker of the year, and to be honest, I don't agree with that, mainly because I've seen this shoe in public, I've seen it on people's feet, and I wasn't like super wowed by it. But as far as top 10 sneakers of the year go, for me, this was the best SB this year. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Next, we have to talk about this general release pair of New Balance 990 V4s. I'm talking about the Arctic Blue colorway. This was a general release shoe that completely sold out, and that is not that common for New Balance these days. But not only did these sell out, these are actually going for quite a bit of resale value. Yes, a general release sneaker. And the reason for that is because this was just a very beautiful looking shoe. It reminded me a lot of that Jound pair from a few years ago, the Jound collab on the V4s. It's this really nice combination of blue and black that just works really well. And this was part of the Made in USA line, and let me know if you guys agree. I feel like Teddy Santis puts out way better shoes for Made in USA than he does for his own brand, A Million d'Or. The colorways, especially this year, which is season 5 of Made in USA, seem to be absolute home runs, most of them. And the standout pair for me this year has been this 990 V4 Arctic Gray. For me, this is like a super fire winter beater type of sneaker. I got a pair on ice and I definitely will be rocking it later this year. The next shoe is a pair of Asics, and that is of course the Asics Gel NYC collaboration with Hidden New York. Some people say that this shoe is a bit too simple, with which I don't agree. I think these are exquisite. I love the inspiration behind this shoe. It was inspired by Adobe Illustrator. I love these pixelated tiger stripes on the logo, and you even have the sizing box around the Hidden logo, which is just so cool. And I'll admit that even though from a colorway point of view, for me it's not the greatest colorway. It looks very much like that Kale colorway which dropped on the Gel NYC quite recently, but you can't blame them for picking these colors. It's very much on brand. It's exactly Hidden's color scheme. The model choice was perfect as well, the Gel NYCs, and I don't think there's been a shoe that dropped this year that I have personally worn more than these, because these are just so comfortable. The Asics Gel NYC, if you're going on like a long trip and you know you're going to be doing lots of steps, like 10-20,000 steps per day, I recommend these for sure. My feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. And as far as sizing on these, I do go up half a size in most Asics sneakers, including these, and also the Gel Cayano 14s. I go up half to an 11.5. These are super clean, and the good news is also that resale prices on these are a lot lower than I expected. So definitely you want to get these before they shoot up in price and it's too late. Next, we have one more pair of New Balance general releases that I wanted to talk about, and that was the 991 V2 in the silver blue colorway. I have been noticing one trend when it comes to New Balance. They seem to be giving the 991 V2 all of the very best colorways so far, because it seems like New Balance has not missed at all with any of the colorway choices on this model. There's a reason why it's sold out immediately and is even going for quite a bit of resale value. It gave me some Yeezy 700 vibes with those bluish gray tones, and I gotta say, as a model, the 991 V2 is simply one of the best models New Balance has put out in the last few years, because not only does it have that very classic New Balance look that we like, it also has the new technology, the fuel cell technology in the midsole, which makes the shoe just a lot more comfier than the original 991. So if I had to pick the New Balance model of the year, for me it's definitely the 991 V2, and the best colorway to drop so far this year is the blue silvers, so it definitely belonged on this list. Let's move on to the next shoe. I haven't talked much about Nike so far this year, but if we're looking at the most popular Nike model of the year so far, it's been the Zoom Vomero 5, and the coolest and most unique pair of Vomero 5s I've seen in a long time was the one dropped recently called Designed by Japan. This was a shoe that I feel like Virgil Abloh would have designed if he ever worked on a Vomero 5. Definitely gave me some pretty strong off-white vibes. All that was missing was maybe the zip tie and the orange tag on the swoosh. You had this really big oversized black swoosh on it, and it had different material choices that you typically never see on a Vomero 5, like leather and also some hairy suede. And the color is also just very interesting to look at. I like how the midsole as well was split into two colors. I thought this was one of the most slept on shoes overall. I don't see any sneaker blogs really talking about this shoe, but Nike's execution on this one was really good. Definitely the Designed by Japan Zoom Vomero 5s belong on this list, but do let me know in the comments, was there another pair of Vomero 5s that you felt belonged in the top 10? And we are already at the last shoe on this list, number 10, and I couldn't end this video without talking about this pair, and that is the Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. I like this shoe for so many reasons. Not only is it one of my favorite colorways ever of the Jordan 4, in fact, this has been a great year because we got the military 4s and the Bread 4s, the two best colorways of the 4s in my opinion, both in the same year. And I just love what they did with the breads. This reimagined version to me looks even better than the OGs because of the different material choice. They gave us this really nice smooth leather on this one. No complaints about the materials on the breads. And also compared to some other Jordan 4s, for me these felt quite comfortable right out the box. I got them in my true size, but because of the nice soft leather, they really didn't hurt my feet as much as, let's say, the military blues do. And this is a shoe that's really going to age well and you can really beat up because it's not going to get too dirty. It's not going to look too dirty. I was very happy with this release. Let me know in the comments, what did you guys think? And that's it. Those were my top 10 sneakers of the year so far. As I said, I felt like it's been a pretty great year for sneakers. There's definitely some other pairs as well that could have made this list, like this size Adidas Gazelle Indoor, which definitely is one of my favorite Adidas pairs this year. I am very much looking forward to seeing what the second half of the year has in store, but so far I'm definitely quite a happy sneakerhead. As I said at the start of this video, let me know in the comments, what did you guys think of this year so far? And thank you so much for supporting this video and just for messing with my content, guys. Hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram as well. That's where I'm dropping the most content. And while you're at it, make sure you check out my sneaker podcast as well, the Kickback Pod. All of these links can be found in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.